brand new, real new, yeah, new, I'm new, I'm new, I'm brand fucking new, yeah, I'm a new me, I'm a new me, I'm a new me, yeah, I'm a new me. Hi guys. I'm a new me, yeah, I'm a new me, I'm a new me, I'm a new me. Hello. I'm a new me, I'm a new me, yeah. Woke up 3:33, feeling like you knew me. Is it cause the new Z, or cause I got some new D? Either way I won't complain, either way I woke up sane. Checking in with all the gang, cause either way it all could change, man. Look yourself in the mirror. You are not. So we're waiting for Sharaya J to come on. But I got the drive and I'm staring, stepping into newer levels, running into newer devils. This is her new song. But I ain't here for no delusions. I'm new, I'm new, I'm new. I'm brand fucking new, I'm brand new, yeah, yeah. New money, new cars, new clothes, new woes, yeah. I'm a new me, I'm a new me, I'm a new me, yeah. I'm a new me, I'm a new me. Hey Marcy. Yeah. I'm a new me, I'm a new me, I'm a new me. Trying to figure out this thing. I'm a new me, wait and see, yeah. I'm doing all new shit cause I'm the new me. And I ain't trying to hear you talk about how you knew me. Cause you be living in the past and I'm too futuristic. And you ain't got it like my ass, but baby, you could kiss it. It's a new me, part of my fleet. I'll be outside, I'll be VIP. No Hennessy, is you shitting me? Pull up in a Rari and in a V. I'm trying to live. Okay, here she goes.
Right to the crib. I want a higher frequency. Hey,
you hear me playing it, right?
I can think. I hear it, Queen. What's up? Oh my goodness, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. I can't complain. Life is good. We're about to eat good tomorrow, so you already know. It's
yes. It's gonna be good tomorrow. Thanksgiving.
Yes, come on now.
So,
hey,
I guess introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? Sharaya J in the building. I see y'all tapping in down there. I'm so happy y'all in the building too. So, what's up?
I just want to ask you a few things about your journey with music and everything. So I'm just going to begin. So how did you find your way to music?
Oh my gosh. It was, to be honest, like music has been in my life since I was a little girl. My father was in a 90s hip hop group. And so like my house was hip hop. Like that's just what it was. And I'll come home, it could be a cypher going on in the living room. It was always the freshest, the newest artist out, like sitting where the, the CDs was. And I was that kid that I was like running to there after school to see, what was new. I got introduced to Wu-Tang and to, you know what I mean? Some Salt and Pepper albums that I just, I was supposed to know, but I used to wrap myself up in that, in that, in that world. And it just became something so just innate for me, you know what I mean? Like, and it was even things that I learned like that my father didn't particularly teach me, but just being around and being in the mix of hip hop, you know what I mean? It just became like my true essence, for sure.
Okay. I just have another question about your dad. So what group was he in?
Oh yeah, so it was a group called Double X Posse in the 90s. And they had this record called I'm Not Gonna Be Able to Do It. Can you do it? And so it was like, it was really big, especially like coming from Jersey. It was like we had only like a few artists that were like really big in Jersey. So it was like a big accomplishment for Jersey. My pops was around and hung out with those guys who originated hip hop, like DJ Kool Herc and Biz Markie. So he sincerely was one of the first people to like really bring and help bring hip hop into Jersey, you know what I mean, from New York.
Okay, that's dope.
Yes.
Okay, so how would you describe your music?
Well, first and foremost, I definitely say it's a true representation of who I am, like as a person, because I'm a dancer and a choreographer. So I love you know, dancing. So a lot of my records, I'm always coming from like, you know, a choreographer's perspective. I pick beats that, you know, people love to dance to, well, that I like to dance to, because I'm like, yo, like the dancers are gonna love to move to this, you know what I mean? And so a lot of my records are very dance driven, but and as far as like my lyrics and I was very inspired by that 90s era of hip hop, because I was, you know, young at that time, coming up and exposed to that era of it. And so, you know, I looked up to a lot of people that's like Salt and Pepper and TLC. Of course, Aaliyah. Like, we all loved Aaliyah coming up too. And so, you know, I definitely, and Left Eye, and I definitely feel like those stars and icons influence, you know what I mean, the artist that I have grown to be. Just because, you know, unconsciously, I just love baggy clothes, like just like the girls with the baggy clothes. And so, yeah, I think it's just really a true representation of Sharaya J. Like, I'm out the box. I like to be fearless, try different things. So I think a lot of that really bleeds through in my music and my sound.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Thanks.
So who or what inspires you, or both? You can answer both. I guess that's an important question.
Yeah, that is. And you're right. Okay, boom. So I got two answers, so to speak. So as far as like being inspired, I get inspired a lot. I was very inspired, like I said, by my parents and how they introduced me into music. You know what I mean? But I guess in particular, if I had to like pick particular artists, Lauryn Hill, I'm like a huge fan of Lauryn Hill, and she's a Jersey girl too. So, you know what I mean? So I always connected with her because she came up in Jersey, and you know what I mean? And I came up in Jersey. And so, but I also love the message and the content of the kind of art that she gave us, you know what I mean? And even still to this day, I know we don't have a bunch of albums from Miss Lauryn Hill, but I think it says a lot about somebody who can make one solo album and it just
think we're connecting.
The test of time.
I think we're back.
Oh, we back?
Yes.
Okay, good. No, what I was saying was, I think that even though Lauryn only gave us like that one solo album, I believe that it speaks a lot to a person's creativity and to their art when one album can hold you down for almost 2 decades, you know what I mean? And
it does.
yeah. And so I just, I'm a big fan of hers. I love her. Definitely one of my dream collaborations, you know? And then other than that, like as far as different things, I do get inspired just by, you know, regular day-to-day life. I think a lot of writers and artists gain a lot of their inspiration from things that they go through in their life, you know, certain things that they might be dealing with, mainly because I feel like that's how we express and we deal with, you know, the things that go on with us. We be creative about it. And I've always just been that girl. So my inspirations can change all the time, you know, day to day.
Okay, I agree with you. How do you become Missy Elliott's protege?
Man, it was a chance meeting. I'm not even gonna front. Like I got invited to a dinner party one night through a mutual friend, and I didn't know it was Missy's dinner party. Like, I just came with a friend of mine, pulled up, and you know, I'm a dancer too, so she always been like a big fan of the dance community, and so you know, as dancers do, when we all get in the building, the music starts playing, everybody got their cocktails, we building a circle, so now we in a circle, you know, dancing, being creative, and I just remember her coming up to me and saying, wait, she was like, you're an artist? Like, who you signed with? And I wasn't signed to anybody at that time, and so, and I was like, yeah. She was like, well, what you working on? Like, woo-woo. And she was just like, yo, you got star quality. Like, I know a star when I see one, and pretty much, like, if you interested in signing with me and becoming like my mentee, then I can show you the ropes of this game, and you know what I mean, and really help you elevate your craft. And you know what I mean, coming from somebody who's an icon in the music business, especially for female MCs, that was like a hard thing to like not agree to. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, if I'm gonna be in this game, this would be a perfect person to kind of help me, groom me and really help me evolve into the artist I was going to be. And then that's just pretty much how we went from there. And from the door, she told me there's not going to be a cakewalk. We're going to work hard. It's going to be, and I've always been a hard worker, so I wasn't afraid of a little, a challenge.
Now that's amazing.
Thanks.
That's really amazing.
Thank you.
I guess from there, I kind of want to talk about, obviously, your fashion.
Yes.
Your fashion sense is like really high end and is really creative.
Yeah.
And I guess that goes with everything else that you do that's really creative.
Thanks.
So would you say you are the vision behind your fashion, or you have help with it?
No, I think, I've been obsessed with fashion since I was a little girl. I'm telling you, I was that girl. I always wore my hair 1,000 different colors, making clothes, making outfits. In college, we used to make our outfits to wear out to the party, you know what I mean? And I used to just do a lot of fashion shows around town, and especially like the free ones. And for a while, in Jersey, we used to have these competitions where it was like these fashion competitions, and you go and you pull your outfits together and you compete. And once I knew I had like a little knack for that, we was going over there and entering those competitions. That's how I would get my money up for my books in school. We would go in, compete, win our little prize money, and then I'd take that and, and do whatever I had to do with it. But what I think about fashion is I think that it's just another creative way to express yourself. You know what I mean? So when I'm thinking about my outfits or my look, it's always from a creative space. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like it's a platform. I use myself as a vessel to just be creative. If it's blue hair this week, I'm with it. If it's long hair, if it's short hair, you know what I mean? I'm with taking chances. And then when I really got signed to, I got signed to Wilhelmina Models. And once I really locked in to the agency, what was great about it was they had this board where it was called the Celebrity Board. So it was artists who would also model, you know what I mean? And so it really exposed me, really opened me up to even a wider playing field of fashion, different designers. My first big spread was with Interview magazine, like one of the most iconic magazines ever. And it's just something that always spoke to me. And everybody's always like, girl, when is the fashion line coming out? Because we're ready to spend our coins. And so I'm definitely like, I think I do have a path also like in dealing with fashion and moving forward for sure.
Yes, I agree with that.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you just 2 more questions because I saw that you worked with Alexander Wang.
Yes.
How was that?
Amazing. Queen, I'm telling you, first of all, something that took me totally by left field because I was just doing my art, and one day my manager hit me and said, she was like, girl, do you know Alexander Wang? And I was like, no, not personally, but what's good? And she said that he just randomly sent an email saying like, I would love to meet her. Can you ask her to come to my showroom? And I was 100% game. I went there, showed up to the showroom. He was just humble, so inviting, and and he's iconic in the fashion game. So he just was like, yo, I saw your video. I fell in love with your video. I love your art and your craft. Like, let's work. And I was like, hell yeah, like, let's work, And so I got to do a couple of his after parties for Fashion Week first. And then he called me one day and was like, I had this line called the Alexander T line. It was like a specialty line that he had and was creating. And he pretty much was like, I would love for you to be the brand ambassador for it. And like, let's do a video, let's do a song about it. And then he brought in Chris Kattan, which was like a huge comedian on SNL. And me and him like starred in this video together. And it actually was a bunch of people, real top models in it. Blasingberg, the big editor-in-chief of Bazaar, like all of us just came together and did like this amazing video for his Alexander T. Wang. And one of my records that I wrote called Shut It Down, I actually made that record specifically for that campaign. And it ended up just like really being successful. I had an amazing time. And after that, I did a couple more fashion shows, Fashion Week after parties for him. And, we just got a cool relationship to this day.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've asked you all those questions.
Uh-huh.
Now let's talk about your music. Let's talk about your new single.
Oh yeah, sure. Right. So new, right. I love that record because like I said before, I think artists write about the space that they're in, you know, and after I did the show, the four, I needed like a little bit of break just to kind of rejuvenate, you know, get my recalibrate. I had left everything out on that stage. And so I was just ready to like heal up and get in this new space. And that's what I did. I took time to like take care of myself. I went back to Hawaii with my family for a while and just got on the beach. Oh, look, it's my cousin right there in the comments. I saw it as soon as I said Hawaii. Look, mad love. I love you. But yeah, and I went and just got and healed myself. And so I just came out with this new energy, this new perspective, and just feeling brand new. Like I had just reached a newer level of, you know, my own evolution. And then I just wrote a song about it, you know what I mean? And put it on wax. And once I listened back to the record, I was like, damn, I like this. You know, it was different from my other joints. But I was just in a fearless space. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to give the people this record. And I think that it really was a good idea to like set off a new phase in my life. You know what I mean? Just embracing the new. And so we shot a video for it. During COVID, we was practicing all the social distancing, but we were able to really pull it out. I had an amazing cast and crew. And yeah, and that video's out right now on everything.
Check it out.
Yes, please.
I want to ask you about your breast cancer journey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I saw you had stage 2 breast cancer.
Yes.
So how was that experience on television and competing?
Wow. What I think a monumental moment in my life. I didn't understand initially how much the four like was a blessing. I believe the creator sent that to me at the opportune time because I had just got my diagnosis. And you know, it really took me by surprise. It was something unexpected. I wasn't even old enough to like technically get a mammogram yet. You know, like they suggest like a certain age, but I hadn't even reached that level to even wrap my brain around having to deal with something like that. So, and then unfortunately I had just lost my grandmother who I was really, really close with a couple of months before that. So before I had time to even process that part, I had to kind of switch hats and get into like the survival mode. Cause now I'm like, I have to deal with, you know, my own situation. But I got the diagnosis, and it was about a month after my diagnosis that I got the random call to be on the four. And I remember being in the gym with my brother. He's a personal trainer, and he was really helping me a lot during, you know, my diagnosis, just staying healthy, trying to just stay in the gym. And I got the call from the four, and he knows, like, I'm not really a big, like, reality TV fan like that. So he was just like, I remember I had the phone on speaker, and he was like, Ray, take it, like, just try it, you know what I mean? Just do it. I know you're going through a lot, but maybe this could be something. And I did. And so I flew to LA and had to meet with the executive producers. They had no idea Queen I even was dealing with breast cancer at the time, because I had already went through my first round of chemo. And my initial round of chemo, my hair came out the first round. Like, you know, I didn't think that, I thought it was probably going to take a couple sessions, but no, the first round my hair was gone. So I was like, okay, now this is something. So we went, I got my seat on the four. They still had no idea that I was dealing with breast cancer. But then, you know, they build a story about you. The producers come together and they work on your backstory. And I remember my producer coming to me and saying, Sharaya, we have your backstory lined up. Everything's perfect. Is there anything else you want to add to this story? And something in my spirit just was like, girl, like, you just have to be, like, if you're going to do this show, you have to walk in and do this, speaking your truth, living your truth, and being transparent. Because I felt like that's the best way that, you know, that everything would come across. And considering I would be going through chemotherapy the entire time, you know what I mean? And so I came to terms with it. I let the producers know. They were like blown away. They had no idea. But then what I appreciated about them was they were like, listen, if this is something that if you want to keep private, like, we will. And, you know, normally with reality TV, they're trying to find a story. They're going to push the story, you know. So I appreciated that compassion and that empathy for what I was going through, you know. But I had already decided that if I got on the show, that I was just going to walk in my truth. I wasn't going to hide anything. I wasn't going to be ashamed of what I was going through. And I got up there, Queen, every night and just build up all my strength and energy to get on that stage and just do the best show that I could do. And I was even, at the time, living in Atlanta. We shot the show in LA. So I was flying back to Atlanta, getting chemo, hopping back on a plane, flying back to LA to hop on the stage the next day. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of weird there, but I just, initially, I was just going up there. I never went on the show to like win per se. I just was like, I'm going to go up here, do my best and do my art. But then what I realized is once the people started to see what I was going through, the love and support started pouring into me, then I realized, oh man, I'm not going up here for myself, just myself every night. This is for everybody out here who's supported me, who's have dealt with family members with cancer, who may be going through it themselves. But I just wanted to be a testimony and an example that this is not a death sentence and it does not stop your destiny. You know what I mean? Or you have to stop your dreams just because you might be going through something, you know, that's intense like this. And yeah, no, it was the fight of my life, technically and literally, you know what I mean? And I showed up. I did the best I could. By the time the show was over, the tumor that I had went away. And then, you know, and that was the biggest W I could have got. You know what I mean?
Well, I won't lie. Like, when I was doing the research on you, I was watching all of this. I was like, oh my God, she did this all through, like, while she was having cancer.
Yes.
And killing it. Like, you was just killing it. Like,
thank you.
You just killed it.
Thank you. Thank you, Queen. It was intense. And you know, when I look back in retrospect, I'm like, damn, it's just like that was heavy. But I was in such an aligned space. Like, I realized I had transcended that whole thing. Like, you know, my grandmother, I lost her, but I realized her being on the other side and outside of the realm, she helped me so much more in that time. You know what I mean? And it ended up being a true blessing. And I'm grateful for the 4 because I believe that it really helped me not focus on the cancer, because I was so, what outfit I'm gonna wear, what song am I gonna do this week, how am I gonna turn it when I get on the stage, that it didn't allow me to wallow in anything that I was going through, you know what I mean, on the other side of things. So it was a blessing.
No, it was amazing. Like, it was. You're welcome.
Thank you, Queen.
So, what's next for Sharaya J?
Man, I know so much. Well, I've actually been really working on a couple things. I've been locked in a lot on a lot of mentoring I'm doing right now, which I feel like has always been something that might just been in my path. I've been blessed to have amazing women mentors in my life, like really strong women who've taught me a lot. And so I'm that person where I feel like if somebody reaches out to you and hands you those jewels and that information and that wisdom, then it's then your duty to then pass that on and keep that going. You know what I mean? And so I've been doing a lot of that, but I'm very excited about a project I just worked on. I got casted to do like, speaking of Lauryn Hill, doing a musical rendition of Sister Act 2. And they called me in as one of the female rappers on it. We just completed it out in LA. And so I'm really excited about that project that's coming out. It was a really amazing cast. Big shout out to Michael Corte, who was the director of everything. Just a beautiful project to be a part of. So I'm excited about that. And y'all know I'm definitely in the studio. I'm finally putting together a compilation album. Like, I have not put together a full project yet as an artist. Like, I haven't released one. And so finally, I'm locking down and buckling down and doing one of those before my fans curse me out even more, because they be like, girl, stop playing with us. And I
yeah, you got to put one out.
I know. And I'm one of those. So I like to take my time, be organic, make sure it's good. You know, I'm a perfectionist, so to a fault sometimes. But they know that once I really lock down and settle it, it's going to be, you know, really great work. And then I also am shooting another reality television coming out in 2021 that I'm really excited about. I can't like tell the name of it yet, but it's an amazing cast, positive love, positive energy. It's all positivity. So that's the reason why I even signed up for it. So I'm excited
Okay.
about that too.
And when is the Sister Act 2 coming out? Do you know
Coming
the date?
soon. It's either at the end of this year or early top of 2021, but very soon. I actually got a couple of like clips, preview clips the other day. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
so excited. Yeah, they look dope. So it should be
Okay, well,
good.
I'm excited for everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
I just have a few quick questions I want you to answer really quick.
Okay,
It's just gonna be, I'm looking at my, it's going to be 3 questions. Well, 4.
okay. Good.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Dream collaboration.
Lauryn Hill.
I know you already said that one.
Right.
Favorite food?
Oh, okay. Salmon. I have to say salmon. I am a salmon. My friends be like, girl, you eat too much salmon. Like, that's OD, but salmon.
Are you dating?
No.
Okay. Can you freestyle for us briefly?
Yeah, I got some. Let me see. Okay. Now here we go. For really though, my show should be on radio, but labels don't give women deals unless they let their titties show. I'm a 90s baby. I came up off of that Biggie though. I'm literally ready because lyrically I am a criminal. Cancer couldn't stop me. You think I'm quitting? You silly, bro. I'ma kick out these verses until I'm 50, bro. I'ma do the circles around them until they dizzy, bro. Never could they copy my figgy flavor. I'm diggy dope. I stay ready. I ain't gotta get ready. I get fetty, I don't gotta get fetty. Yeah, they know the vibes because they effing legendary. I'm gonna keep it live. That's Face versus Teddy. Hey!
Yes! You make me want to freestyle.
Come on, Queen. Come on. Let it loose.
I cannot rap. I would be reading off a paper like this.
Say that. I love it. Hilarious.
Thank you so much for doing this with me, Sharaya.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And I hope to talk to you soon. If you have anything else coming up, let me know.
Will do. I appreciate that. I love y'all down there. I seen all y'all saying big love to everybody in the building. And to you, Queen,
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye. You too.
Peace.